Well, good morning everyone. I'm really sorry we can't be with you in person, but even this way is of course much better than nothing at all. I'm Guy, and Tessa will be joining us in a moment. Now I know that you've been talking and thinking about families this term, and how there are many, many different kinds of families in this country, in our village, and around the world. And how important it is to be interested in the different people in their different families and to learn from them. So this morning we're going to speak about 3 families coming from a story that we'll all be hearing much more about at Christmas time. Then we're going to tell you about how you can make a Christmas card, which our church here in Almeley will be sending to everyone in the village. And then there's going to be a song that you might want to join in with. But first of all, we're going to light a candle. And that's because we like to say that light is stronger than darkness. And when we learn new things, it's like shining a light into the darkness of the things we didn't know before. Sometimes we call Jesus the light of the world because we think that he helps us to see everyone better. And now Tessa is going to come and join us. Here she is.
Hello everyone, it's lovely to be here with you.
So on the table here in front of us are all sorts of people. They look very different. And when we start to talk about families, it's really important to begin by remembering that everyone in the whole world is part of one great family. We call it the human family because we're all human beings, whoever we are. We say that everyone is a child of God, and the Bible says that everyone is made in the likeness of God. It means that everyone is able to love each other if we want to, just like how God always loves each one of us. Just like in every family, some people are different from others, but all are equally loved and valued by God, who tells us that we too must value everyone just the same as everyone else. There are no exceptions. So here are people from 3 families, all together as one family, each looking pretty different, but all are part of the human family. And we're going to tell you about these 3 families within the one great family. Tessa's going to talk about Mary in a moment.
I'm going to take them all away and introduce you to Mary. Mary is a young woman who lives in a town called Nazareth, in a country a long, long way from Almeley. Mary has a partner called Joseph. I can find him. There he is. He's a carpenter and he makes things out of wood. Mary and Joseph are very, very excited because they're going to have a baby. Now one day their government announces that they have to travel to another town for a census, which is when everyone has to be counted. The town they have to go to is quite a long way away and they'll have to walk there because they haven't got a car. In fact, there weren't any cars when Mary and Joseph were around. They do have a donkey, if I can find it. So Mary would be able to sit on the donkey a little bit to help her on the journey because her baby's going to arrive very soon. Now Mary and Joseph have parents and they're very, very sad because Mary and Joseph are going away and Mary and Joseph's mummy and daddy hope very much that they would be there when the baby was born because it's terribly exciting when your child has a baby and you become grandparents. Guy and I have got 8 grandchildren, so we've got lots of grandchildren. We're very fortunate. So Mary and Joseph set off on their journey, hoping that when they get to Bethlehem, they might meet some friendly people who will be able to help them especially when the baby is born.
So off they go, and there is another family. Here they are. Tessa's going to bring them into the scene. Well, they're farmers. Well, actually, they're shepherds. So they look after their sheep. They're called John and Anne, and they live near Bethlehem. Because they both work together looking after the sheep, their parents help to look after their children during the day. Well, here are the children, and this is John and Anne, their grandparents, who look after them while their mum and dad are looking after the sheep. So they are quite a big family because they all live together. Some families are big, some families are small. My family has been quite a big one, but I know many families that only have one or maybe two people. Now, when Mary and Joseph get to Bethlehem, they meet John and Anne and the shepherd's family. They welcome them, so that when Mary has her baby, the shepherd family are there to help them. Mary and Joseph's baby is a boy, and they call him Jesus. Here he is. Well, here he is as a baby. Lots of people are very excited about Jesus being born because he's going to be a really important person to everyone in the world, teaching people about loving one another, whoever they are and whatever their family's like, just as the shepherd family had shown love to Jesus, to Mary and to Joseph. Well, then Tessa's going to tell us about a third family.
First, Mary and Joseph's family. Here they are. Then the shepherds and all their family. And finally, another group turn up. They've been travelling many miles, a long way from their homes. And they look very different. They speak a different language and they eat different types of food. They are Melchior, who comes from Persia. Can you find him?
I think that's Melchior, isn't it? No, that's not Melchior, that's Caspar.
Then there's Caspar, and she comes from India. And then there's Balthazar, who comes all the way from Arabia. Just like many people in our world, they are far away from their homes. I hope John and Anne welcome them into their family.
What a great party they could have had with Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus. The shepherd family with mum, dad, two children and their grandparents, and with Melchior, Caspar and Balthazar, who have come from so far away. All have been welcomed into the shepherd's home. So when people get together from around the world, they become one big family. So we've got a song now about how happy that makes everyone to be part of one great family.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, turn around. If you're happy and you know it, turn around. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, turn around. If you're happy and you know it, wiggle your hips. If you're happy and you know it, wiggle your hips. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, wiggle your hips. If you're happy and you know it, stretch your arms. If you're happy and you know it, stretch your arms. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, stretch your arms. If you're happy and you know it, pat your head. If you're happy and you know it, pat your head. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show happy and you know it, point your toes. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, point your toes. If you're happy and you know it, shout hello. Hello. If you're happy and you know it, shout hello. Hello. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, shout hello. Hello. Say hello. Hello. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. Bonjour. Bonjour. Привет. Привет. Ni hao. Ni hao. Kalimera. Kalimera. Jumbo. Ha. Guten Tag. Guten Tag. Namaste. Namaste. Salam. Salam. Buongiorno. Buongiorno. Hola. Hola. Vanga. Vanga. Da. Sabor. Merhaba.
So now we have one more thing to do, which could be quite exciting, I think, ready for Christmas. Tessa's going to tell you about making a Christmas card, which I hope everybody might want to do, and then we're going to turn it into the Christmas card that we send to everybody in our village.
So what we thought would be fun is that anyone who wants to could make a card and on it put Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus. Oh, the grandfather's fallen on his nose. And your family. Put them in the scene. I don't know what your family's like, but I made a picture of our family. We've got 5 children and I've put them here with Mary and Joseph and their wives and all our 8 grandchildren that I was telling you about. So I thought it would be fun if all of you could draw a picture of Mary and Joseph and then add your family to the picture. And we will put them up in the window of our house. We live just opposite the church. In fact, it's called Church House. And we thought through Advent, when people will be opening their Advent calendar windows, we would put one of your pictures up in our window every day through Advent. So if you can get busy, you could draw it or paint it any way you like. And you don't have to use these shaped figures, but just draw lovely pictures of Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus, who we've got here. Don't think you could really see him before. He's there. And then add your family in the picture as well. And we'll choose one of your pictures to be made into a card, and all the rest the village will be able to see in our windows through Advent. And Guy will put them on the village Facebook or the church Facebook page, and you can see which one has gone up each day, just like we did last year with the pictures we put in church. But this time, because of COVID, it's not going to be in church, it's going to be on our windows. So we will have a window Advent calendar for you all to come and see from the 1st of December. But we need you to make the pictures so we can put them in the windows.
Very good. That sounds very exciting. I hope you've enjoyed this assembly, and I hope that in the future, when all this virus thing is over, we'll be able to come back into the school. So look after yourselves, be very careful so that none of us catch the virus, and be nice to your teachers because they work really hard. Thank you very much. Goodbye.